I guess a lot of people that are not in the industry try to make sense of that. You know, he was so talented, he was so amazing. Why did he need that? You can understand. For you were struggling with so much instability. So for you, in many ways, it was an escape. Have you thought about? I mean, what's the connection there between a musical brilliance and then that necessity for drugs?
Well, there's so many different reasons for it. Like in Michael's case, I'm not really an authority, so I can't really sort of pass judgment on that. But the fact that he was doing downers really makes a lot of sense considering how his life was. Because like I said, when you're up there and playing, that's great, but that's only for like an hour and a half, 2 hours out of every day, and the rest of the time he's trying to rehearse or whatever. And you find things to sort of I'm trying to think of the right word, to sort of just keep
Famous
everything
people
going.
are so lonely.
Yeah, it's a very lonely kind of a thing, and then for me, it was like, you are sort of basically, sort of shy, nervous around crowds and nervous around, talking to people, and at the same time, you're just like trying to kill a lot of time, and all the energy that you put into the shows and so on. After it's all over, it's just sort of like tumbleweeds. It's like, and you don't know how to come down. It's really hard to figure out how to
find something to fill the void.
Yeah, and you just start doing these things, and maybe if you're not necessarily happy on a regular basis, every time you get done playing, you go into a depression. It's like we're
getting to wrap, but like any good journalist, we've got a couple more questions we need to ask you. First of all, the story about the top hat, when you were trying to put your image together, the very first top hat that you had, you stole.
Yeah.
Tell us a story about that.
I just love the name of the store.
Leathers and Treasures, or
Retail Slut.
Retail Slut. Well, they're both next to each other. What happened was we had a show at the Whiskey. Guns N' Roses had a show at the Whiskey, and I was cruising around Melrose, or walking around Melrose, and looking for something cool to wear. That was basically it. I sort of pick up odds and ends, and I went into Retail Slut, and I'd gone into Leathers and Treasures and stole a concho belt. And then went next door and saw the top hat. And hats have always been a thing with me. I always thought a hat sort of completed the look. And so I saw the top hat, and I was like, oh, that looks sort of cool. That would be different. And looked around and sort of grabbed onto it and watched to see who was paying attention, and just walked out of the store with it. And I got back to the pad, we're all sitting around because we all lived together, and cut up the concho belt and put it around the hat, and that became the look for the night. And it just sort of, something about it just felt very comfortable. Even now, it's like it's easy to hide from all you guys because like my hair.
You just pull it down. So that hat was eventually stolen, a real demonstration of what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Did you ever think, after you made it, of going back to Retail Slut and saying, by the way, I stole a hat, here's the money for it?
Especially, the whole thing about making amends and all that. Anyway, I gladly would have, but it's not there anymore. So.
And just before we wrap, you've got the new solo album coming out in April. You've got a tour this summer. Tell us a little bit about the tour. Miles Kennedy's going to be singing.
Miles Kennedy's singing. I just sort of signed on the whole back line, so I've got Dave Henning on bass, Bobby Shack on guitar, and Brent Fitz on drums. And we're going to start doing dates actually next month. So April and May we'll be doing shows, and then the tour actually starts in June, and doing the festivals in Europe. So I'm really looking forward to it.